Hey, what's up YouTube? Dom the Smartphone Guy coming back at you with another video, and tonight I want to talk about this watch right here. This is a watch that I did a review of about 10 months ago. This is the Amazfit Pace. It is a fantastic GPS running watch, and I want to talk about why I like it so much. I've been using it for roughly around the last week. I also used it for about a month back in December of last year, and I gotta say that some of the improvements they've made make this thing a fantastic watch. And not only that, but it's quite inexpensive. So let's go ahead and talk about the price first of all. So you can pick it up directly from Amazfit. I'll leave a coupon code down below because if you use the coupon code Smartphone Guy, you get 30% off of this price. So it's $160 directly from them. So with that 30% off, you're going to get it for $112, which is a great price for such a great a watch. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other places you can get it. So you can pick it up on an Amazon, but I don't have any coupon codes for that. It's $160 there as well. But then also it is available at gearbest.com. So gearbest.com has it at the moment for, it looks like $115. However, there are always coupon codes, so I'll leave some coupons down below with the best price that I have at the moment for this watch. Sometimes it's as low as $80 or $90, so definitely check those out at GearBest. So let's go ahead and talk about why this thing is such a great device. So I'm going to jump into the app for the watch for just a second. And while I'm doing that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the watch itself. So build quality wise, this thing has ceramic bezel here, so that is kind of cool. It's kind of a shiny bezel. It definitely sticks out a little bit, and then you have the nice sport band. Now this is totally replaceable. In fact, I have a ton of bands for it now. Because it's a standard 22 millimeter and super easy to release, quick release there. So you can put on even a really nice metal band if you want to go with it, make it look really classy. And you can also, of course, change the watch face to something that looks a little bit more like a standard watch. And then you have a super classy looking watch that also happens to be a very sporty watch as well. So of course we have an optical heart rate sensor. You can see here where it's going to charge. Now it does charge kind of slow, but the good news is that the battery life on this thing is absolutely spectacular. So I actually posted on Twitter what I was at with 3 days of full use, and that it was a run every single day in there. So it was using GPS for at least 4 to 5 miles every single day, and I was still at 29% battery life after 3 full days, and that's with zero battery conserving. So that's with keeping the continuous heart rate sensor always on. That's with keeping the backlight always on the watch. And that's also with getting notifications. So with all that, I still had 29% after 3 full days of usage. So in terms of battery life, this thing is fantastic. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the GPS on this watch, because it is dead on. So I used it on routes that I was very familiar with, and it was spot on every single run. Like I said, I've been using it for the last week, and every single run, it was spot on. Now, of course, you can track a number of things. So basically, if you swipe to the left, you're going to get your different sport activities. So you can run, walk. We have on here running indoors. So of course that's like a treadmill. We have tracking bike ride. We can track biking indoors, trail run, elliptical. And the only difference between trail run and run is some of the things it's going to show you on the watch face while you're actually doing the activity. We have the elliptical, and then the activities is going to show you some of the older activities that you've done. And then we can, of course, change some settings within the runs. Basically, that's going to give you some different settings for lap alert, heart rate alert, some target times, which you can see I'm not really using. Target distance, again, I'm not really using that. We have some pace alerts, so if you want to set yourself at a certain pace and make sure you don't go above that pace or go too slow, basically, you can set that. And then we have this sport trail. I'm not exactly sure what that one is. That's not a feature I've used. And then we have an option for data screens, and so you can change it to either 4 or 6 data fields, depending on which you want. Now, if you switch it to 6 data fields, it kind of defaults defaults which 6 you're going to get. But if you switch it to 4, you can choose the 4 that you get. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So jump back into here, and we're going to get out of the settings. So now we're back into our activity area. So I'm going to swipe over to the right to get back to the main watch face. Now, in order to change the watch face, you have to go into the settings, or you can go into your phone. What's really cool about this is that there aren't very many watch faces actually built into it. So we'll talk about that for just a second. So this is what the app looks like that you're going to connect it to. It is actually called, if I come down here, it is called right here the Amazfit watch. So that's the app you're going to use. So you can see that it's syncing with my phone right now. It's got the battery life. So if I come in here, it'll show some available storage, what ROM. So I'm currently running 1.3.3, which is, or 1.33, and that is the newest ROM that's available. Now, when I was running it before, this was back in December of last year, it was on like version 1.2 or something like that. So they've made some really good updates to the watch. And for that, it's fantastic. So one thing I will say, a slight complaint I have about it, is that I can't find anywhere where you can change what your step count goal is for a day. As of right now, it's stuck at 8,000. So I can't change that. It's fine. It tracks your steps, but you can never change your goal, at least as far as I can tell, you can't. Now it'll also track, of course, your sleep data. So right now it's showing that I haven't slept at all. But if I go back to daily, you can see the sleep tracking. So you're about to see that I don't sleep a whole lot. So 6 hours and 12 minutes, 4 hours and 4 minutes, and whoops, I missed it. If I can actually click it on my phone, 3 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah, so I don't sleep very well, or I don't sleep very much, that is to say. Now, this is another complaint I have here, and that's the fact that at least in the app, there's no way to change it to imperial units. So everything is tracked within the app on the metric system, which is really strange because everything can sync to Strava, which is a great running app, and that's all done in miles. And then when you actually look at it on the watch, everything is done in miles. So you can do everything on the watch and in Strava in imperial units, but when you come into the app, it's still in metric. So that's the only unfortunate thing there. But thankfully in those other two areas, it's all done in imperial units. So of course you can track your heart rate. That's just showing the last time it was tracked, because I'm not even wearing it right now. So here are the watch faces. If I go in here to the watch faces, you can see that there are a number here that are available. So they're mostly very sporty looking ones. Now, I didn't actually download too many digital ones. These actually came with it. So if you want a more classical look and then put a nice band to it, like a metal band, you can have a real nice classical look to it. And I just wanted to show you a couple of them that I've added. So this one here is the one I think I'm actually using right now. So that's called the Amazfit Digital. That's one I've added. There's a Facebook group available for this watch, and they have a ton of things. And actually there's XDA developers available out for this right now. So I've seen people running games on this, like Game Boy emulators and things like that, because it is running Android 5.1. So it's rootable. And these are also a couple of them that I've added. This Garmin one, so it makes it look kind of like the Garmin look, and then also this one right here, which I have no idea what that says. Anyways, plenty of watch faces, and like I said, there's developers out there for this watch, plus the fact that you can just download pretty much any kind of watch face you want that's out there that people have been making. We do have also activity sync. That's of course going to make it go to Strava, so it'll just transfer everything automatically seamlessly to Strava. Now that is the only option you have, unfortunately. This is just where you're going to go to change your notifications, so all the notifications on your phone can go to your watch as well. So at the moment I have it set so that only a handful of apps actually sync here, so you can see the apps basically that I have. Now I have a ton of apps on my phone, but I don't want all of them going to my watch. So mostly just social media is going to the watch in this case. In terms of the app settings, I'm going to skip over that part. The widget and app management, I'm going to skip over as well. More settings, basically this is where you're going to change it to Imperial. Now again, everything on the watch will be Imperial, and in Strava it'll be Imperial, but for some reason in the app itself, it's still coming up as in kilometers. So not exactly sure why that is, but it is what it is. So that is the app. App could use some development, I would say, but the watch itself is where I think all the magic happens. So one thing I really love about this is that you can see it in any kind of lighting. So we can flip it up, and of course it's going to turn the backlight fully on, whereas you noticed earlier that it probably wasn't fully on there. It's actually using a reflection of any kind of light that is in here right now. So right now it's reflecting off of lights. That's because it's a trans-reflective display. So the brighter the light, the easier it is to actually see this watch face. So if it's a super bright day, you're going to see this thing really, really well, which is what I believe every sport watch should probably have. It just makes sense. Now, is it the prettiest screen because of that? No, but I mean, it's the most useful screen because you can see it in literally any kind of lighting, and that's just makes sense to me. So now if I swipe over to the right on the watch face, it's going to go into my daily overview. I can actually go into that and click on some complications there. It's going to show me a little bit more information about it. So you can see that it's going to give you a little bit more information. Obviously, it's even better to look at it on the phone, but you can also get it there as well. You can play some music. Obviously, you're going to sync it to some Bluetooth headphones because there is no speaker available or microphone in the actual watch. Whoops, swipe out of that. So I've actually had it connected to these right here. These are true wireless earbuds. These are called the Smartomi or Smartomi. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. The Smartomi Gs. And they have been... I've actually had I think 0 disconnections between the two, which is really good. So the Bluetooth on this is also much improved from the last time I used it, because when I used it last time, that was one of my complaints as well, was that the Bluetooth didn't stay connected very well. Well, that's totally changed with their software updates. So this is just your heart rate. We can see the weather. It is really abnormally warm in Michigan right now for September. We can set some alarms. It has a compass available as well. We're not going to use that right now, but it has a compass available. We have a stopwatch, and then we also have, that's just the sleep detection that's also going to be on your phone. And then we have a training center, which I actually haven't used yet. So this is scientific training, improve your running performance. Let's get started. So I haven't tried that one out yet, but it is something that is available. Now, unfortunately, you have to kind of swipe all the way back in order to get back to your watch face. That's something that can be improved as well. So our notifications, unfortunately, you can see I don't have any at the moment, but that's where they would fall. Now, notifications, it's really good for getting your notifications, but not as good as responding to them. So it does give you some options for responding, but for the most part, you're just going to get your notifications on this watch, which is just fine with me because personally, I'd rather just find out what the notification is and then look at my phone. I don't want to respond necessarily on my phone. So if that's something that you need to do, then this is not, I would say, the watch for you. Now let's go back into, let's see if it's hard to tell if the screen's actually on or not for me right now, just because it's already backlit. So we have an airplane mode. We also have, go back into that. We have a night mode or silent mode. We have here just our brightness settings. That's going to change our backlight. So I have the backlight always on. And like I said, really good battery life even with that on. And then over here we have all of our settings. It's hard to see if I'm actually touching it. There we go. All right, so we have our connections. That's where we're going to change our Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We have some common ones. So if we go in here, we can change our format, time format, silence. We can silence at certain times of the day. We can go into airplane mode here again, auto airplane mode, vibration. So I would actually put that, you're probably going to want it on strong. At medium, I can feel it, but at strong, you can obviously feel it a lot better. Like I said, backlight I have is always on. The auto upload, you can turn that on or off, and that's just auto uploading to your phone. I just have it syncing manually. And then we have a tap to wake, which I've shown you a couple times there, and then we just have a wear habit left or right. Then we have some upload options. That's again, you can change your watch faces here. It's easier to do on your phone, but you can change it in here. That's just for your software updates. And this is going to give you the option of resetting it. And then we have a Find My Phone option as well. So that pretty much covers it. But what I want to mention here is that if you're just looking for a absolutely fantastic GPS running watch, this thing is really accurate. The heart rate is great. just about everything about this right now for me is the perfect running watch, primarily because for me, I'm not as I'm not as worried about notifications on my watch. I can get notifications on here, and then I can see that, for instance, it was a tweet from Mobile Geezer, and then I can go on my phone and see what it was. So I don't really see the need to respond to notifications from my watch, and so for that, if that's what you need, this isn't the watch for you. But if you're looking for a really good GPS running watch that doesn't cost a whole lot, because they can cost a ton of money, up to $350 or even more than that, and this one is around $100 to $150. You can even get it less than $100, like I said, on gearbest.com. But it is a fantastic GPS running watch. I highly, highly recommend it. In fact, I don't know that I really want to let it go, but I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I'm going to be doing a giveaway, so you waited a long time to find out what it was. So in this video, I'm going to be giving away the Amazfit Equator. So basically, in order to qualify for this, you just need to comment to let me know that you want it. So this is kind of more like a jewelry fitness tracker. So you can see that this is the actual fitness tracker itself. It sits right here in this band. And then we have just some things, some other information in there. So this is more of a jewelry / fitness tracker piece. Really nice accessory. I would say probably mostly for females, but that's just my opinion. And then I'm also going to be giving away this extra band for it as well. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. And also, if you can tweet this out, that would be fantastic. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.